The University of Tel Aviv has developed a new method of treatment that allows to attack cancerous cells without harming the healthy cells. This method is supposed to solve the problem of tumors that are resistant to chemotherapy. Now, when you think about it, it sometimes feels like cancer is bigger than us, because already in the 70s they said that in a few years we're going to find a cure. 50 years went by, and this disease is taking the best of us. In my family, I felt it on my own flesh. And I wanted to ask, is there something unique about cancer? All illnesses are a result of man's ego. It's a phenomenon that's very close to spirituality. These are cells that suddenly they begin to eat their own environment, and then they themselves die. But nonetheless, they begin to consume their own environment. Usually, we more or less correctly, properly relate to the environment that we live off. But if we're not aware of it, then we destroy our environment, as if to our own benefit. But then we die. You see how it sometimes happens, even between countries, between people that are neighbors. Now you're talking about relations between people and countries. It's the same. Like between cells? Yeah? It's the ego that exists in each and every one of our cells. And in the very same way, it turns these cells against those. What did you mean when you said that cancer is something that's close to spiritual phenomena? Because the root of the disease itself is our ego. As long as a person, or a society, behave egoistically, will have cancer, but you can't say that he's a bigger egoist, so he'll have cancer. It could happen to the best of us, without any apparent reason. So it's not someone in specific, but as long as people are egoists, then undoubtedly cancer, like all other illnesses, but especially this illness, will develop among us. So what's the solution? What does Kabbalah say? We need to deal with our ego, which is the reason for all the bad things that we suffer from, whether these are illnesses or our relations or life altogether. Can there be a world without disease? Of course, the world can be heaven. What does it depend on? Only on our ego, whether we'll be able to deal with it, whether we'll be able to turn it for the better. A society or a world without illnesses is a world where people want to do good to each other? Yes. And as a result of wanting to do good to each other, all illnesses disappear, including cancer.